Chapter 11 Refined in an instant. Tang Yanran was dumbfounded. You are listening at novelfull.audio. You's gonna avenge our brothers. You sure this is the right move? Those words immediately struck a chord with the other outer disciples. Two of their own died under that dark gold Terrorclaw bear, and Ming was already trying to snatch its soul beast ownership. He was only a level 10 soul warrior. Even if he got the bear, what then? Was he really planning to absorb a 1,000-year-old soul beast for his first soul ring? Even Tang Yu was starting to feel uneasy looking at Ming. Two comrades were dead, plain and simple. Killing the dark gold Terrorclaw bear would at least be a way to get some payback, but now, Ming was trying to steal the kill, leaving him feeling deflated. He'd seen people giving Ming the side eye on the way here, but as team leader, he'd still looked out for him, planning to hunt a decent soul ring for him after Tang Yanran got hers. Now, Ming's stunt had tanked his opinion of him. Tang Yeming, you. He sighed, but couldn't bring himself to finish the sentence. What was done was done. No use in pointing fingers now. Ming heard the crowds grumbling but stayed cool as a cucumber. As long as he got what he wanted, who cared about the peanut gallery? He circulated his soul power, and the forging hammer martial spirit reappeared in his hands. Then, a purple 1,000-year soul ring floated up from the dead dark gold Terrorclaw bear, shimmering oddly in the air. The others were floored when they saw what Ming was up to. No way. Is Ming trying to absorb the dark gold Terrorclaw bear's soul ring? That's a 1,000-year ring. That kind of soul power will overload him for sure. Everyone forgot all about their fallen buddies and stared at Ming. Mao Tsagape, Tang Yanran, stuck in the middle of the crowd, was secretly loving this. Ha! You're just a soul warrior, and you think you can absorb a 1,000-year soul ring? Dream on. She hoped Ming would go for it and explode on the spot, paying back what her brother Tang Yu had given up. Inside, she was rooting for him to absorb the ring and die, but she put on a worried face and whispered, "That's a 1,000-year ring, you can't absorb it." Tang Yu finally saw what Ming was planning and panicked. Two guys had already died. If Ming bit off more than he could chew and kicked the bucket too, they'd all be in deep trouble back at the sect. He quickly warned, "Careful. You can't just absorb the dark gold Terrorclaw bear's soul ring like that. Even if you refine it, the soul beast's energy will wreck you. You shouldn't." "I got this," Ming said flatly, tapping the bear's purple soul ring with his hammer, instantly refined. Everyone was speechless. Tang Yu was stunned. You. How is that even possible?" The remaining outer disciples just stood there with their jaws on the floor. It was like something out of a comic book. Tang Yanran was in disbelief. No freaking way. He's just a soul master. How did he absorb a 1,000-year soul ring? Unlike the others, Ming was basking in the rush of power coursing through him. He didn't care what anyone thought. Opening his meridians had already boosted his physique. And after the spirit spring and the white pig goo, he was practically indestructible. This dark gold Terrorclaw bear was barely 1,000 years old. Why would he be worried? With his first soul ring in the bag, Ming felt the shackles on his soul power breaking, and his stagnant soul power level started shooting up. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear's power, plus the feedback from his goo master training, launched him straight to level 19. A level 19 soul master. Just one more level and he could snag his second soul ring. Big risks, big rewards. That's the power of a 1,000-year-old soul beast for you. On top of the soul power boost, he noticed some changes in his forging hammer martial spirit, probably from the bear's death throes, but now wasn't the time to check it out. Right then, the system dinged in his head. Ding. Role-playing level as Refining Dao Master has hit 30%. Rewarded with a 1 to 3 turn goo worm gift pack and 5,000 yuanshare. Note, the gift pack contains 10 1 to 3 turn goo worms, with one guaranteed to be 3 turn. Claim reward now. Ming held back his excitement and decided to wait. He hadn't expected to get such a bonus just from absorbing his first soul ring, boosting his Refining Dao Master persona to 30%. He couldn't wait to get back and open that goo worm pack. Tang Yanran saw the smug look on Ming's face and felt her blood boil. she was sure he was mocking her for not being able to absorb the soul ring herself. Old grudges plus new fuel, and she was ready to explode. Brother Yu, look at him. She stomped her foot. Brother Feng and Brother Yu died because of that bear, and he's over here laughing. This is their soul ring. They gave their lives for it. He's happy to feast on the blood of his fellow disciples. Tang Yanran's words instantly riled up the other outer disciples. They looked at the bodies of Tang Feng and Tang Yu at the bottom of the hill, then at Ming, who was practically glowing, and it didn't sit right. Why should this scrub be the one to absorb the 1,000-year soul ring? Everyone turned to Tang Yu, waiting for him to say something. Ming frowned. Tang Yanran had been pulling stuff like this the whole trip, but he'd brushed it off. Now she was trying to turn everyone against him. His eyes, dark and deep, fixed on Tang Yanran. He was already scheming an accident to get rid of this drama queen. If he didn't take care of her, she'd just cause more trouble for him in the Haotian sect. Tang Yu felt the pressure building. The dead comrades and the soul master history rewrite were getting to him, but his training kicked in, and he made the right call. Pack it up. Let's grab Tang Feng and Tang Yu's bodies and get back to the sect. All this blood will attract other soul beasts. We can't stick around here. Hearing Tang Yu's orders, everyone snapped out of it and moved towards the bodies. Tang Yanran, though, was left on the hill. She couldn't care less. Dark gold Terrorclaw bears were apex predators. Even dead, their aura was enough to scare off other soul beasts for a while. She'd be safe there for a bit. She was a smart girl, just not very wise. She forgot that dark gold Terrorclaw bears usually had multiple babies in a litter. Roar! Another earth-shattering roar echoed through the forest, and a dark gold Terrorclaw bear, bigger than the last one, stomped out of the trees and onto the hill. Tang Yanran froze. Chapter 12: A life-or-death situation. Tang Yu's persistence. You are listening at novelfull.audio. The claws, dark gold and sharp, seemed to rip through space, targeting Tang Yanran directly. Even a soul king would struggle against the power of those claws. Tang Yanran, a soul warrior who hadn't even gotten her first soul ring, stood no chance. Swish, star, the claws tore through her chest, leaving a gaping, shattered wound. The force sent Tang Yanran flying like a broken kite, tumbling down the hillside to her death. Bang. Star, she landed like a rag doll, kicking up a cloud of dust. It was then that reality crashed back in. Seeing the size of the dark gold Terrorclaw bear, Tang Yu knew it was at least a 3,000-year level soul beast. Its combat power was probably closer to that of a 20,000-year one. Run! Scatter! Tang Yu roared, his best 5 soul rings blazing to life as the clear sky hammer materialized in his hand. 3 of their group were already dead. He'd led them here, and he couldn't watch any more of them die. Even if the Terrorclaw bear was a monster, he had to buy the others a chance to escape. Boom, star, Tang Yu charged up the hill, the clear sky hammer aimed squarely at the bear. The remaining 5 disciples, hearing Tang Yu's cry, scattered like birds. They were no match for the Terrorclaw bear. Their only hope was to find help. They all knew the golden rule: outrun your companions, and you just might survive. As they fled, they scanned for Ming, each thinking the same thing. He just got his first soul ring. If I can just get past him, I'm safe. Then, they froze. Ming, who was just there, had vanished the moment the bear appeared. Crap! They were terrified, sprinting for their lives. Meanwhile, on the hill, Tang Yu's clear sky hammer was about to connect with the bear. But the bear's dark gold claws surged with soul power and met the hammer head-on. Bang, star, the impact sent Tang Yu flying backward, spitting blood, his strength visibly draining. He stared in disbelief, unable to accept that he couldn't even withstand a single blow. The Terrorclaw bear, having swatted Tang Yu aside, spotted the body of its cub at its feet, its brother. Roar! Its eyes turned blood red, fixing on the fleeing disciples. These damn soul masters had murdered its brother, and they would all pay. To a soul beast, showing your back was practically an invitation to attack. The Terrorclaw bear didn't bother with Tang Yu. It crouched slightly, power building within it. Buzz, star. It leaped, its massive body arcing through the air, covering dozens of meters and landing right in the middle of the fleeing disciples. Bang, asterisk the ground cracked under its weight. Roar, the bear roared, swinging its claws, tearing into the head of a nearby disciple. His head exploded like a melon. The others were paralyzed with terror. Forget fighting back, they just wanted to escape, but these were just great soul masters, barely level 20. They couldn't stand up to an ordinary 1000-year soul beast, let alone this monster. Even if the Terrorclaw bear wasn't the fastest, it easily overtook them. Bang, bang, *. 2 more disciples were crushed beneath its claws. It all happened too fast. By the time Tang Yu recovered, only 2 disciples remained, trembling under the bear's pursuit. Ah! Damn you! Tang Yu roared, the 5th black soul ring blazing to life. He leaped forward, closing the distance between him and the Terrorclaw bear. 5th soul skill, Haotian strike. Circles of black light erupted from the clear sky hammer, swelling it to twice its size. Grasping the hammer with both hands, Tang Yu swung it at the bear's back. The Terrorclaw bear sensed the power building behind it, but didn't turn. The dark gold fur on its body glowed with an earthy yellow light, and its claws snapped shut on the last disciple in front of it. Bang, bang, Tang Yu's attack finally hit, but the bear's claws still crushed the disciple's head. Roar, not even with its powerful defense, the Terrorclaw bear had been hurt by the blow, but fueled by rage over its brother's death, it wanted nothing more than to kill them all. The Terrorclaw bear was about to retaliate, but Tang Yu's clear sky hammer slammed into it again. Clear sky hammer, chaos cloak. Tang Yu roared, pouring soul power into the attack, trading blows with the Terrorclaw bear. Of the 10, only 1 disciple was left. Even if it cost him his life, he had to save him. He couldn't live with the guilt. The Terrorclaw bear was just as furious, its power unmatched. It met Tang Yu head-on, bang. Bang, claw met hammer, the force reverberating through Tang Yu. The chaos cloak hammer technique was powerful, but the recoil was taking its toll. Puff, after 1 blow, he coughed up blood. Still, Tang Yu kept swinging. His clothes were soaked red, and the Terrorclaw bear was completely occupied. Boom boom boom, the roar of battle echoed through the hills. As the last disciple fled, tears streaming down his face, he stumbled onward, muttering, "Brother Yu, hang on. I'll get Brother Long to help." Boom boom, after 2 more blows, Tang Yu collapsed, the clear sky hammer dissolving into motes of light. He fell unconscious. The Terrorclaw bear wasn't in much better shape. Its dark gold fur was torn, and its armor broken. As Tang Yu fell, the bear was exhausted, the red faded from its eyes. It coughed up blood, approached Tang Yu and sniffed, memorizing his scent. Then, it staggered to its brother's body, hoisted it up, and lumbered into the forest. From the shadows of the trees, a dark figure emerged, solidifying into Ming. He sighed, finally. Any longer, and my true energy would have given out. That 2nd-level goo worm sucks dry. Of course, it was Ming, who had forced the 2nd-level shadow follower goo to turn into darkness and hide in the shadows before the fight even started. Looking at the fallen disciples, Ming's eyes grew cold. Time to scavenge the corpses. Chapter 13 50% Qualification. Fishing in Troubled Waters. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In fact, Ming had plenty of chances to bail out from the fight the second that Dark Gold Terrorclaw bear showed up, but he didn't run. He forced his 2nd-level shadow companion Goo to lie low. He'd been waiting for this. With only a Class C Goo Master qualification, he was looking at a future where he topped out at level 3. If he wanted to level up his talent, he had to roll the dice. He hurried over to Tang Yu and checked his pulse. He's still alive, just passed out from exhaustion. He thought for a beat, then decided against killing Tang Yu and just covered his eyes with his coat. He still needed to get back to Haotian Sect, and Tang Yu alive was worth more. Still got 20% of my true energy. Luckily, the Blood Skull Goo doesn't need much to fire up. Ming called out the Blood Skull Goo from its hiding place and tossed it towards Tang Yanran. The Blood Skull Goo drifted upwards, and strands of blood flowed from her body and drilled into the skull's eye sockets. Drained of blood, Tang Yanran was nothing but a dried-up husk. Using the same trick, Ming let the Blood Skull Goo suck the blood out of all the other dead disciples. This was on the outskirts of the hills, and thousand-year soul beasts were rare. Plus, the scent of the dark gold Terrorclaw bear was all over the place. For the immediate future, this was the safest place to be. He raised his hand and recalled the blood skull goo. A stream of fresh-smelling blood gurgled from its mouth, poured over him, and seeped into his pores. As the blood flowed in, Ming felt his true essence reservoir start to expand, but it was definitely slower this time. The more he boosted his aptitude, the more blood he'd need. 50.1%. 50.2%. 50.5%. When his aptitude reached 50.5%, the blood spring dried up. Almost pushed me into second grade. Ming glanced at Tang Yu, lying on the ground, and a smile crept onto his face. Hang in there, Tang Yu. I need you powerful. He'd gotten a good look at the dark gold Terrorclaw bear's movements when it left. Bears might have bad eyesight, but their sense of smell was top-notch. And dark gold Terrorclaw bears were vindictive. Letting Tang Yu go wasn't an act of mercy. Ming figured the bear had memorized Tang Yu's scent and would gather other soul beasts to ambush him when he went home. If he wanted to improve his qualifications, he couldn't just sit tight in Haotian Sect. He needed to stir things up to create opportunities. Tying the blood-soaked coat around his waist, Ming hoisted Tang Yu onto his back and started the long walk back to Haotian Sect in the sunset. In the little village at the foot of Haotian Sect, Tang Long looked at the 4 teams in front of him, his eyes constantly scanning the horizon. It's getting late. Tang Yu's not back yet. I hope nothing's happened. Nah, he's good. We didn't run into any thousand-year soul beasts this time. With Tang Yu's strength, he could probably even outrun a 10,000-year one if he had to. Tang Long's anxiety kept growing. He had a bad feeling about this. Not just then, a white-robed outer disciple came sprinting into the village, looking panicked. His eyes were bloodshot, his clothes were torn by branches, and he was covered in cuts, but he didn't seem to notice. The moment he saw Tang Long, tears started welling up. He took a deep breath and yelled, "Brother Tang Long! Save Brother Tang Yu! The dark gold Terrorclaw bear's about to kill him." What? Tang Long's energy surged, sending yellow, purple, black, 6 terrifying soul rings, rising slowly from his feet and swirling around his body. He took a step forward and was right in front of the outer disciple. What's going on? What dark gold Terrorclaw bear? The outer disciple's eyes flickered with terror. Dead, they're all dead. He mumbled. Brother Feng's dead, Yanran's dead too. Everyone's dead. There are dark gold Terrorclaw bears roaming the hills. One is 1,000 years old, the other's 3,000 years old. Brother Tang Yu fought like crazy to save me, and now I'm afraid. I'm afraid. He couldn't go on and collapsed to the ground, burying his head in his hands, sobbing. Tang Long was stunned, then yelled, "Where are they? Where are they?" The disciple blurted out the location. Tang Long didn't hesitate. He unleashed his soul power and bolted out of the village. When he broke free of the village, he saw a sight that stopped him in his tracks. Under the setting sun, a figure was slowly trudging towards him. The cloth around his waist shimmered in the light, reflecting the sun off the bloodstains. On his back, a blood-soaked figure hung limply, his arms dangling. Tang Yeming. Tang Yu. Tang Long screamed and shot across the distance to them. As he got closer, the coppery scent of blood filled his nostrils. Ming saw him coming and forced a weak smile. Brother Tang Long. I brought Brother Tang Yu back. I'm sorry. I wasn't strong enough. Brother Feng and the others. I couldn't save them. Hearing this, the man in his 30s felt a lump in his throat, his eyes red. He reached out and patted Ming's shoulder, then carefully took Tang Yu from his back. Good job, kid. You did great. At the top of the mountain gate, inside the Haotian Sect hall, Tang Xiao sat on the high seat, the 5 elders arrayed on either side. To his right sat a beautiful woman in a sky-blue dress. After Tang Yeming brought Tang Long back, I went to check the area, one of the elders reported. The bodies of Tang Feng and the others had been eaten by soul beasts. Judging from the signs, two powerful soul beasts were definitely there. It has to be the dark gold Terrorclaw bear. But I couldn't find any sign of them. Tang Long stood below, his head bowed in shame. Before Tang Xiao could speak, the third elder, seated to one side, scoffed. So, if it weren't for Tang Yeming, Tang Yu would have been soul beast food? Is this the soul beast removal operation you requested? 7 members of our sect, buried in the guts of soul beasts. Tang Yu was his grandson, and he was still unconscious in the infirmary. How could he not be furious? Tang Long kept his head down, not daring to answer. Tang Xiao rubbed his temples and sighed. Tang Long should be punished for this. No one could have known there were dark gold Terrorclaw bears prowling Guhan Hill. However, if he hadn't discovered this during this operation, those 2 bears would have grown up, and who knows how many more of our Haotian sect disciples would have died. Once this is over, Tang Long, you'll spend a month meditating at Repentance Cliff. And you'll personally deal with the remaining 3,000-year dark gold Terrorclaw bear. Within 10 days, I want its blood to commemorate our fallen disciples. And make sure the dead are given proper burials and their families are compensated. Tang Long bowed. Yes, sir. The other elders remained silent. Tang Xiao paused, then said, Tang Yeming saved a life. He'll be rewarded with 1,000 gold soul coins and promoted to an inner sect disciple. He managed to absorb 1,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear for his first soul ring. He's clearly got potential. Even with his martial soul reversal, he's shown promise. When he joins the inner sect, keep an eye on him. The others nodded. Tang Xiao then turned to the woman with the noble air and whispered, Yuehua, didn't you say Xiaohao's son is coming back to the sect soon? Yes. His name is Tang San, and he's a very talented young man. Chapter 14, Open the Goo Worm Gift Pack. The lively Zhen Yuan Sea. You are listening at novelfull.audio. In the village, back in his cabin, Ming immediately spent 10 yuan stones to restore his Yuan Sea to its full potential. After 2 qualification upgrades, his Yuan Sea's capacity was at 55%. That 55% boost in true essence significantly improved his recovery and cultivation speed. Bringing Tang Yu back served 2 purposes, guiding the way to the dark gold Terrorclaw bear and ensuring rewards from the Haotian sect, which translates to more opportunities for me. Ming stroked his chin, calculating the advantages the Haotian sect offered. His biggest advantage was those cherished relatives, friends, and fellow disciples, potential resources for improving his qualifications. If his Gu Master cultivation could reach grade A, his cultivation speed would skyrocket. Here in the Douluo continent, after his Gu Master cultivation breakthrough, his soul power would also improve. This chance was too good to pass up. Still, he couldn't abandon the Samsara Secret Realm mission. He needed to secure some guarantees first. The mysterious gifts were just as valuable as his Gu Master abilities and soul power. After sorting through his thoughts, Ming stood and summoned his martial soul. The one small forging hammer had transformed into an imposing hammer half his height. Dark golden stripes flowed across it, mirroring the dark gold Terrorclaw bear's hide, giving it an otherworldly appearance. The millennium-old bear held tremendous energy, not only boosting his soul power but also triggering positive changes in his martial soul. Plus, he'd gained a powerful millennium-level soul skill. With a wave, the dark gold Haotian hammer martial soul disappeared. Ming mused that ordinary soul masters could only absorb soul beasts around 400 years for their first soul ring. He'd clearly grabbed the Haotian sect's attention. A double-edged sword, I suppose. But if I'm strong enough, I won't have to worry. That he settled back into a cross-legged position on the bed, ready to claim his system reward. A 1 to 3 turn Goo Worm gift pack, 10 Goo Worms in all. Time to snag some Goo Worms to accelerate my cultivation. Rubbing his hands together in anticipation, he accepted the reward. Ding, 5,000 yuanshare have been added to the system space. Ming now had 8,000 yuanshare in his system. He wasn't complaining. Yuanshare contained pure yuanli, and it was the gold standard of currency in his world. Gu masters below the 5th turn couldn't tap into the yuanli of heaven and earth to replenish their true essence. Without special Goo Worms, they were reliant on yuanshare after exhausting their energy. Besides, breeding, using, and refining goo worms required loads of yuanchi. Even combining the first turn jade skin goo and white pig goo into a second turn white jade goo required at least 500 yuanchi, not factoring in failures. For him, the more yuanchi, the better. After a quick glance at his yuanchi, Ming focused back on the system. The goo worm reward was the real prize. A stream of notifications flashed across the screen. Acquired a first turn goo worm, a wine worm. Acquired a first turn goo worm, a bronze relic goo. Acquired a first turn goo worm, a moonlight goo. Acquired a first turn goo worm, a small light goo. Acquired a first turn goo worm, a jade skin goo. Acquired a first turn goo worm, a black pig goo. Seriously? Is my luck really this bad? Ming's face darkened as he saw the 6 first-turn goo worms. This was a 1 to 3 turn gift pack. How could he get 6 first-turn worms? He kept reading, and his heart lifted a little. Acquired a second-turn goo worm, a hidden scale goo. Acquired a second-turn goo worm, a red iron relic goo. Acquired a third-turn goo worm, a thunderwing goo. Acquired a third-turn goo worm, a Tian Yuan Bao Lian. After the 10th notification, Ming exhaled slowly. Second turn and third turn worms. I'll take it, ding, rewards issued. In an instant, 10 uniquely shaped goo worms materialized, filling the cabin with life. He already owned Shaoguang goo, moonlight goo, wine worm, and jade skin goo from the first turn set, but these extras could be used as ingredients for refining second turn goo worms later. As for the black pig goo, it mirrored the white pig goo, gradually increasing the goo master's strength. It just needed to be fed pork regularly, which was manageable. Among the first turn goo worms, the bronze relic goo excited Ming the most. It was a thumb-sized, spherical, consumable worm that could instantly boost a first turn goo master to a small realm. Best of all, it had no side effects. Since Ming was at the high level of the first stage, using the bronze relic goo would immediately push him to the peak. It wouldn't help him break through to the second stage though. This goo boosted cultivation within a realm, not beyond it. Even so, Ming was thrilled. Among the 2 second-level goo, the red iron relic goo was like the bronze one, but required the goo master to be at the second level to use it. The hidden scale goo was what many people dreamed of. Its primary ability was invisibility. It could even make your clothes invisible along with you. Being only second level, it couldn't mask scent, so discovery was still possible, but for Ming, it was an excellent goo worm. With the hidden scale goo, I can grab even more opportunities within the Haotian sect. Ming grinned. He couldn't use the second-level goo worm for long, not with his limited true essence, but he'd solve that soon enough. The last 2 third-level goo worms, Thunderwing goo and Tianyuan Baoyan, were what excited him most. The Thunderwing goo was an auxiliary worm that could conjure a pair of lightning wings, allowing the goo master to fly for a short time. Flying, a word that made his heart race. In the Douluo continent, only those with special flying martial souls, soul beasts, or the strength of a soul Douluo or titled Douluo could fly. But with the Thunderwing goo, he could defy that norm. Sure, his 55% first-level true essence only allowed for a half-minute of flight, but it was still flying. Containing his excitement, Ming turned his gaze to the last third-level goo worm, the most valuable one in the gift pack, the Tianyuan Baoyan goo, the walking yuan spring. Once refined, this goo could generate true essence in its core at any time, even in battle, constantly replenishing the true essence sea. As a first-level, high-stage goo master, using moonlight goo drained his true essence in about 20 to 30 moon blade attacks. But with Tianyuan Baoyan goo, his recovery would be off the charts. He could unleash moon blades without a second thought. Even second-level goo worms wouldn't drain him as quickly. He wouldn't have to worry about running on empty. This Tianyuan Baoyan goo could even produce yuanchi. This was another windfall. To avoid prying eyes, Ming channeled his true essence and instantly refined the goo worms, storing them in his true essence sea. Inside, the 4th-level blood skull goo floated on the surface, while the 3rd-level Tianyuan Baoyan sat in the center, emitting waves of true energy that attracted the other worms. The Thunderwing goo crackled with lightning across the surface. The hidden scale goo, resembling a fish fossil, floated casually on the seabed. The white pig and black pig Gu wrestled face to face. It was a lively scene. Chapter 15 Inner Disciple Mission completed. You are listening at NovelFull.audio. After gathering all the Gu insects into his true essence, Ming settled back onto his bed, crossing his legs. With a thought, he activated the bronze relic Gu. A surge of power rippled through the void, and within the dark green true essence, a wisp of even darker green began to materialize. The moment all his true essence became that deep, dark green would mark the pinnacle of his first revolution. Night deepened, blanketing the village in darkness. Just north of the Guhan Hills lay the Luoyu Mountains. Deep within the Luoyu Mountains was a bare cave, its entrance a towering 10 meters high. Thwack! The 3,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear flung its brother's corpse before the cave's mouth, then plopped down right in front of the entrance. Ho-ho! It roared into the cave, its voice laced with grief. Boom. Boom. Boom, star, heavy footsteps echoed from within, and a massive dark gold Terrorclaw bear, 7 or 8 meters tall and rippling with muscle, lumbered out. Dark gold armor plated its arms and chest, lending it an air of undeniable power. One eye socket was empty, a dark void. This was the undisputed ruler of the Luoyu Mountains, the 70,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear, capable of taking down soul beasts even older than 100,000 years. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear emerged to find its eldest son slumped on the ground, covered in wounds, and its second son lying motionless nearby. Roar! It roared at the sky, the sound shaking the very foundations of the Luoyu Mountains. Every soul beast in the range jolted awake, fearfully turning towards the epicenter of the sound. Weaker soul beasts simply collapsed to the ground, trembling. The 3,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear whimpered in response, mournfully telling his father the whole story. Ho ho! I remember that human scent. Roar! Gather every soul beast. We'll wipe out these damn humans. The immense dark gold Terrorclaw bear roared again, unleashing a wave of terrifying energy. Instantly, every soul beast in the Luoyu Mountains began to converge on the center. Night faded into day, the first rays of sunlight gracing the land. Smoke curled from the village chimneys, and white mourning banners hung before several homes. Ming stretched and wandered over to the corner of the yard. There, a dozen flower beds overflowed with the moon orchids. He transplanted. A smile bloomed on his face as he surveyed their healthy state. If these moon orchids thrived, he'd have a steady supply of ingredients for his moonlight Gu. The first Gu insect a Gu master refines is called their natal Gu. The natal Gu and the Gu master's life force are intertwined. Any harm to one reflects back onto the other. Logically, the stronger the Gu chosen as a natal Gu, the better, but all he had at the time was the first level moonlight Gu. If he wanted to become a Gu master, he had to refine it. He didn't regret his choice one bit. The compendium of applications of rank 1 to 5 Gu masters contained countless paths for the moonlight Gu to evolve, culminating in the rank 5 treasure Moonlight King Gu. With enough resources, he was confident he could nurture the moonlight Gu to its full potential. After tending to the moon orchids, Ming headed into the village. The village boasted a number of shops, selling everyday necessities. His true essence was now teeming with Gu insects, and he needed to find enough food to keep them all fed. Plus, having reached the peak of the first level, he needed to gather materials to upgrade his Gu insects to the second level. The white boar voodoo and black boar voodoo both required pork. Wild boars roamed near the village, so that wouldn't be a problem. The little light Gu, like the moonlight Gu, only ate moon orchid petals. The jade skin Gu needed jade every few days, but the area around the Haotian sect was rich in ore, so jade wouldn't be hard to find either, and the wine bug was a breeze. The village had a wine shop. As long as you had gold soul coins, you could keep it happy. Tang Xiaolong's hush money was enough to buy out the entire winery, with some left over. After running around all morning, Ming finally had enough food to satisfy his growing family of Gu insects. Thankfully, the Gu insect ingredients rewarded by the system weren't too exotic, or feeding them would be a real challenge. As he approached his hut, Ming spotted Tang Long standing in the yard. He hurried forward, surprised. "Brother Long, what brings you here?" "How's brother Tang Yu?" That he studied Tang Long. The middle-aged man looked haggard after yesterday's events, with streaks of white showing in his hair. The deaths of Tang Feng and the other disciples weighed heavily on his conscience. Hearing Ming's question, Tang Long managed a weak smile. Tang Yu just lost some strength. He's awake now and will recover with a few days of rest. He tapped a jade pendant on his waist, and 2 sets of black Sect disciple uniforms appeared in his hands, along with a jade pendant and a bag of gold soul coins. For saving Tang Yu, the Sect Master is promoting you to an inner disciple and rewarding you with 5,000 gold soul coins. But the dark gold Terrorclaw bear has been causing trouble lately. You'll have to wait until I deal with it before entering the sect. Ming took the items, feeling a bit overwhelmed. Brother Long, I just did what anyone would do. Doesn't this go against sect regulations? Tang Long clapped him on the shoulder. You earned this. It's perfectly justified. If it weren't for you, Tang Yu would be dead, ripped apart by soul beasts. Wait a moment. I need to check out the ancient Mark Hills first. With the dark gold Terrorclaw bear running wild, it's still too dangerous for the sect disciples. With that, Tang Long turned and headed toward the ancient Mark Hills. Several disciples had died because of his decision not to kill the dark gold Terrorclaw bear, and his anger still burned within him. After Tang Long left, Ming hefted the bag of gold soul coins. There were roughly 5,000 of them, enough to buy a property in Tiando City. He stored everything in his system space, then turned back to the wooden house. He glanced at the watch only he could see on his left wrist, displaying his current secret mission. 1. Become an inner disciple of the Haotian sect. Reward, common talent, random, 20 primal stones. Completed. 2. Reach Soul King cultivation. Reward, rare talent, random, 100 primal stones. 3. Become leader of the Haotian sect. Reward, epic talent, random, 2,000 primal stones. 4. Reach the title of Douluo. Reward, legendary talent, random, 10,000 primal stones. 5. Ascend to godhood. Reward, mythical talent, random, 100,000 primal stones. Note, the basic task is complete. You may resolve the mission and leave this world. The first task, becoming an inner disciple, was marked as complete. He could settle the mission and leave the Douluo continent whenever he wanted. Sometimes, the most unexpected things happen. Ming never expected that simply rescuing Tang Yu would complete a mission in the reincarnation secret realm, but he had no intention of settling for so little. Common talent no longer appealed to him. Now that he had a solid starting point, he aimed for the ultimate prize, mythical talent. With so much potential at his fingertips, it would be a waste not to chase the impossible. Back in the room, he changed into the black disciple uniform of the Haotian sect, instantly feeling more powerful. He spent the rest of the afternoon practicing, the sun slowly dipping towards the horizon. After dinner at the village restaurant, he ran into Tang Long, looking utterly dejected, at the entrance. Chapter 16 Tang Xiaolong Speculation. Promotion to the second level. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Ming, seeing Tang Long approach, wiped the grease from his mouth and hurried over. Hey, Long, what's up? Did you take down that dark gold Terrorclaw bear? A hint of bitterness touched Tang Long's lips. I've been all over the place, but I can't find hide nor hair of it. And the weird thing is, I haven't seen hardly any other soul beasts either. Tang Long sounded frustrated. His adopted father had given him 10 days to deal with the dark gold Terrorclaw bear. Of course, he wanted to waste no time and get revenge for Tang Feng and the others, but the ancient Mark Hills are huge, connected to the Luoyu Mountains, which then lead to the far north. If a soul beast wants to disappear, it's going to be a tough hunt. Ming felt a little awkward hearing this, thinking, maybe you don't have to worry so much. In a few days, it might just show up. Instead, he said, hey, Tang Long, where there's a will, there's a way. I know you'll avenge Yanran and the others. Tang Long gave a weak smile. I hope so. A 3,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear is a big ask, but for his dead brother and to honor his adoptive father, he had to go all in. After a quick chat, Tang Long headed for the cliff. The cliffs were practically vertical, with ledges here and there, a natural barrier, keeping anyone out of the Haotian sect. The small village at the base was shut off too. Tang Long got to the bottom of the mountain, his soul power flowing, steps light, and floated upward. In a few leaps, he vanished into the mist, entering the Haotian sect at the top. Once Tang Long was gone, Yi Ming went back to his cabin. Tang Long is the Soul Emperor. And they can't even find a few soul beasts in the ancient Mark Hills. He was certain this was because of the dark gold Terrorclaw bear. Something's bound to go down in the next few days. Gotta pump up my power a little more. Checking outside to make sure he was alone, Yi Ming sat cross-legged on the bed, diving into the void. Using the bronze relic goo had bumped his cultivation to peak level 1, all his true energy now dark green. The film covering the true essence sea had morphed into a crystal wall. To hit level 2, he needed to crack that crystal wall and go beyond. The second turn needed at least 55% dark green primeval energy. With his old 44%, it would be rough. But thanks to his brothers, his qualifications were now at 55%. Plus, he had the Tian Yuan Baoyan, a sweet auxiliary goo insect, so no need to freak out. Mind clear, Yi Ming shut his eyes tight, and a wave crashed in his Yuan Hai. Goo insects got spooked and booked it to the bottom of the sea. He didn't have time to worry about them, sending the wave smashing into the crystal membrane orifice wall. The wave was nuts, and crack, the crystal membrane got a fissure, but it started healing. Yi Ming wasn't having it, pushing the dark green true energy into the wall, making the gap bigger. The sea level was tanking, but the Tianyuan Baoyan was throwing out true energy, refilling the tank. With the bonus from Tianyuan Baoyan, Yi Ming went wild, hitting the crystal membrane orifice wall with everything he had. Over at the village chief's place, Tang Xiaolong watched his dad head off to see Widow Wang again, then tiptoed into his room and locked the door. He pulled out a green jade the size of a walnut. Looking at it, Tang Xiaolong's face twisted in pain. This jade's already shrunk in 2 days. At this rate, I'm not sure I can stretch this more than a few days. Still, he was buzzing with excitement. In 2 days with the jade, he'd blown through 2 levels, hitting level 27 Great Soul Master. This jade could get him to at least level 30, maybe even Soul Master. As he was about to get down to business, an idea hit Tang Xiaolong. Tang Yeming claimed jade got him to 10th level Soul Warrior, but he absorbed the 1,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear soul ring. And leveled up to the 19th level Soul Master. Could he be holding out on me? Or, did he find where this jade mine is buried? That everyone knew Yi Ming absorbed the dark gold Terrorclaw bear soul ring. It had been all over town for ages. Tang Xiaolong thought about how useless Yi Ming used to be, then saw him now, full of confidence, and he was sure he was sitting on a pile of that jade. His eyes narrowed. He's using me as a cover. Gotta squeeze the baby out of him. But he was a little stuck. Yi Ming had the 1,000-year dark gold Terrorclaw bear soul ring. He could brawl with a great soul master like him. Give it 2 more days. Once I break through to the Soul Lord, I'll find a way to yank his jade. And if that doesn't work, I'll tell the 5th elder. When they're eating steak, I can at least get some scraps. Tang Xiaolong dreamed of being Soul Sect, Soul King, Soul Emperor, all the way to title Douluo with his stash of jade treasures. He even started thinking of his title. Pumped, he grabbed the jade and dove into training. Midnight, in Yi Ming's empty cavity, dark green waves crashed against the crystal membrane. The crystal membrane was now spiderwebbed with cracks. The sea of true essence was still good, 43% full. Time to go. Yi Ming cranked up the dark green true essence, creating a huge wave, smashing the crystal membrane. Crack, crack, like breaking glass, the solid crystal membrane shattered, crystal bits splashing in the Yuan Hai, instantly turning into sparkles, and joined the Yuan Hai. The crystal membrane had turned into a brand new light film. This second turn light film was way brighter than the first. The dark green true essence had turned light red, the initial stage of the second turn, red iron true essence. Yi Ming grinned. With the second turn, he could do so much more. Also, his goo master cultivation was up, and his level 19 soul power shot to level 20. After snagging the second soul ring, he could hit the great soul master realm. He had a red iron relic goo, letting him jump a small realm of the second turn anytime, but Yi Ming wasn't popping it now. He'd been leveling too fast lately, needed to get some combat in to get a handle on this power. Gotta lock it down before he improved it more. But now I'm at the second level, the first level goo worms aren't much good. Gotta boost them to level 2, that he thought, and the first goo worm, the moonlight goo, floated up from the void. With a jade skin goo, moonlight goo plus jade skin goo could make the second level goo worm Yunishang. Also the way to get to the 5th level goo worm, the moonlight king goo. As Ming was about to start leveling the goo worms, the ground began to shudder. Roar. Screech. Awoo, that beasts roared all around. He paled. A beast tide. Chapter 17. The beast tide is coming. The power of the title. You are listening at novelfull.audio. These soul beasts are crazy fast. A whole horde showed up in just one day. Didn't Tang Long notice anything during the day? Ming sighed, bolted out of his room, and stashed the moon orchids from his yard in his system storage. He stepped outside and scanned the area beyond the village. His face went white. It was early morning, and the full moon cast a ghostly glow, barely lighting up the distance. An unbelievable number of soul beasts were charging towards the village, led by a massive, 8 or 9 meter tall dark gold Terrorclaw bear. Right beside it was a smaller dark gold Terrorclaw bear, packing around 3,000 years of cultivation. Behind them surged a motley crew of soul beasts, thousands of years old, hundreds of years old, shadow leopards, gale wolves, bloodthirsty ghost spiders. Even the sky was filled with birds, all heading straight for the village. Crap, talk about bad luck. Ming's heart hammered. He'd figured the 3,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear might gather a few dozen spirit beasts for a small wave, which would be perfect. He could snag some benefits, but a freakin' beast king. Seriously? If he wasn't careful, he wouldn't make it out alive. Tang Xiao and the 5 elders are up on the mountain. 6 titled Douluo can definitely hold the line. But we gotta survive the initial hit from these soul beasts. The moment he spotted them, the dark gold Terrorclaw bear leader raised its massive paw. It could smell the scent of its dead cub hanging in the air. Ming's heart leaped into his throat, and goosebumps erupted all over his body. Jade skin goo. Water cover goo. The light red true energy inside him flared, and the 2 defensive goo insects powered up his body. He shimmered with a jade glow, surrounded by a sphere of water. Buzz. A terrifying energy crackled around the dark gold bear's claw, and it swung down, slamming it toward the village. Dark gold tearing claw. A gigantic bear claw materialized above the village. Boom. The claw crashed down, instantly flattening houses. Some of the Sect disciples got smeared across the ground by the blow, before they even woke up. The shockwave tossed Ming backward, shattering his water shield and causing the jade skin to fade into motes of light. Damn, he rubbed his aching back and scrambled to his feet. Just the edge of that palm broke my 2 goo insect defenses. This dark gold Terrorclaw bear is way too strong. Ming's face tightened, and a fierce hunger for power burned in his chest. Boom, the village bell, usually silent, began to clang like crazy. Enemy attack. The desperate shouts triggered panic. The whole village erupted in chaos. Disciples poured out of their rooms, staring in horror at the wave of soul beasts flooding the village. Roar. Protect the Sect. Fall back to the cliff. Beast roars and screams mingled, and the village plunged into a nightmare. The fight was a total mismatch right from the start. The village disciples topped out at great soul masters and soul masters. They could barely handle the 1,000-year soul beasts, let alone stand against so many of them. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear beast king, with its 70,000 years of power, tore through everything. Every step crushed a house. A swing of its paw decapitated a disciple instantly. Soul beasts had naturally strong bodies, and could overpower soul masters of equal levels. Now tens of thousands of soul beasts, hundreds or thousands of years old, were attacking at once. It was a disaster for the village. After escaping the first dark gold Terrorclaw bear attack, Ming immediately used the second-level goo insect, hidden scale goo. Invisibility activated. Most soul beasts had a keen sense of smell, but the air now reeked of blood. As long as he didn't get too close, they wouldn't notice him. The beast tide was unexpected, but he could still turn it to his advantage. He'd scoped out the village demographics during his earlier walks. He knew exactly which houses belonged to people from affiliated sects and which were occupied by his fellow trainees. Now was his chance, and he wasn't passing it up. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear was going wild in the village center. After the soul beast stormed in, they launched a full-scale massacre. Ming quietly unleashed the blood skull goo, secretly sucking the blood of his brothers. However, he was careful not to push too far. If he got trapped inside the swarm of beasts, he'd be done for. Boom! The dark gold Terrorclaw bear smashed several houses with one swipe. It was about to attack again when several long roars thundered from the towering mountain peaks. Damn beast! You think you can mess with the Haotian sect? Big Sumeru hammer. A hammer the size of a mountain burst through the clouds and slammed down with terrifying force. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear barely had time to react before the hammer hit it. Roar! The dark gold Terrorclaw bear roared in pain as dark golden light pulsed across its body, trying to withstand the blow, but the hammer was just too powerful. Even with 70,000 years of cultivation, it couldn't stand against the person wielding it. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear stumbled back, forced all the way to the edge of the village by the impact. Buzz! With a final roar, the massive hammer shrank to half a man's size and landed in the hands of a 2-meter-tall, muscle-bound man. He stepped into the air and flew down. Ming, hiding among the survivors, stared up. The man was huge, with a powerful back and waist. His face was carved like stone, with short gray hair and piercing eyes. Yellow, yellow, purple, purple, black, 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 9 terrifying soul rings circled his body. It was none other than the Haotian sect leader, Haotian Douluo, Tang Xiao. The surviving disciples looked on, eyes burning with hope, and shouted. Lord Sect Master! Lord Sect Master! The cheers echoed, instantly wiping away the terror that the soul beasts had inspired. Tang Xiao's presence was a beacon, pushing back the darkness. He strolled to the edge of the village, snorted, and unleashed a terrifying wave of pressure that washed over the entire area. Ouch! Roared the soul beasts inside the village whimpered, stopping their attacks and cowering backward. One man, enough to intimidate thousands of soul beasts, that was the power of a titled Douluo. But the dark gold Terrorclaw bear wasn't impressed. The other guy had just gotten lucky with a cheap shot. In a fair fight, it would take on a 100,000-year-old soul beast without a second thought. Why should it fear some titled Douluo? Roar! With a furious roar, the soul beasts that had been retreating hesitated. They dared not disobey the Beast King's command. Tang Xiao gazed across the space, locking eyes with the dark gold Terrorclaw bear. Beast King, soul beasts at this level possessed wisdom nearly equal to that of humans. Beast King, I don't want to kill. The lives of my sect disciples will be repaid with your life. Disperse the beast tide, and your cub can leave unharmed. Tang Xiao gripped the clear sky hammer and spoke with overwhelming power. Ho ho! You killed my cub. You're the one who should apologize. Roar! All soul beasts, kill! The dark gold Terrorclaw bear roared in rage and charged towards Tang Xiao. It would avenge its cub today, no matter the cost. Chapter 18 Haotian Sect vs 70,000-year-old Dark Gold Terrorclaw Bear. You are listening at novelfull.audio. Boom, 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 the dark gold Terrorclaw bear, enraged, charged Tang Xiao with earth-shaking roars. The soul beasts, initially retreating, surged back towards the village in a frenzy after hearing their Beast King's command. Even for a titled Douluo like Tang Xiao, the fury of a 70,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear was a force to be reckoned with. The instant the dark gold Terrorclaw clashed with the clear sky hammer, the clouds threatening to shroud the full moon were ripped apart. And countless airborne soul beasts were caught in the crossfire, dissolving into bloody mist, fueled by the pain of losing its offspring and Tang Xiao's oppressive aura. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear's rage intensified. Tang Xiao found himself on the defensive, constantly pushed back in the brutal exchange. His inability to maintain pressure gave the swarming soul beasts below an opening. They flooded into the village once more, resuming their slaughter. The disciples behind Tang Xiao paled, sensing death closing in. You beast! Damn you! Who dares to bully my Haotian Sect's disciples? Suddenly, more whistles pierced the air from the mountaintop, and 5 figures descended. Leading the charge was a woman of striking beauty, her body radiating power through 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 5 black soul rings. It was Tang Qingqing, the second elder of the Haotian sect. Behind her were 4 more elders, each a titled Douluo in their own right. The moment they arrived, the second and third elders plunged directly into the fray between Tang Xiao and the dark gold Terrorclaw bear. 3 titled Douluos now battled the 70,000-year-old beast. The remaining 3 elders landed like meteors, positioning themselves directly in front of Ming and the other disciples. Their 9 soul rings blazed like beacons in the fog, filling everyone with a sense of security. Facing the dense horde of soul beasts, the 3 elders exchanged glances, and the Haotian hammer martial spirit materialized in their hands. Haotian 9 Perfections. Sky-piercing strike. Haotian hammer, chaos blast. They charged into the heart of the chaos, targeting the most powerful 1,000-year soul beasts leading the assault. Boom, boom, boom. The 3 struck almost simultaneously, engulfing the village in a cloud of dust. As the smoke cleared, the village was littered with soul beast corpses, each surrounded by floating yellow, purple, and black soul rings. Hiss! A collective gasp swept through the crowd, everyone stunned by the display of power. Ming, caught in the moment, was also awestruck. Witnessing a battle of titled Douluos up close was a staggering experience. He compared his own progress and estimated that he would need to reach at least the 5th turn Gu Master level to match their strength. For a Gu Master, the first 5 turns were about limited human potential. Reaching the 5th turn meant being able to fly, transforming into a streak of rainbow light to traverse the world. But once he broke through to the 6th level, he would transcend mortality, his power leaping forward to grant him freedom beyond measure. This battle only intensified Ming's relentless pursuit of strength. Swish, swish, swish. While he was still reeling, Tang Long and Tang Hu, along with dozens of inner disciples, arrived from the mountain and moved directly to the center of the crowd. By now, the 3 titled Douluos had stabilized the battlefield within the village and were focused on the flying soul beasts in the sky. The disciples of the Haotian sect almost all possessed the Haotian hammer martial spirit, and only a few affiliated disciples could fly. Several 10,000-year flying soul beasts still loomed in the sky, and if left unchecked, they would inflict heavy casualties. The 5th elder, known for his fiery temper, barked at Tang Long and Tang Hu, "Take your disciples and slaughter those beasts. Temper yourselves in battle. There are no cowards in the Haotian sect." Tang Long and Tang Hu's eyes burned with rage. The deaths of their comrades had ignited their fury. With the 10,000-year soul beasts dealt with by the elders, the remaining beasts would pay the price. "Yes, sir," they roared in response, summoning their Haotian hammer martial spirits, their bodies illuminated by 6 soul rings, 2 yellow, 2 purple, and 2 black. "Haotian sect members, follow me and kill. Avenge our fallen brothers and sisters. Kill." Driven by fury, the group summoned their martial spirits and charged into the fray. Ming did not retreat. Gripping his Haotian hammer martial spirit, he targeted a soul beast that had just reached the 1,000-year level. Instead of using soul skills, he wielded the Haotian hammer as a weapon, employing techniques from the complete physical combat techniques he had been studying. He swung the hammer, his fighting skills growing sharper with each strike. Ming chose a 1,000-year-old King Kong ape, known for its volatile temper, belligerence, and immense strength. This soul beast's combat instinct was potent. At first, it overwhelmed Ming with its dual clubs. However, as Ming integrated his knowledge into muscle memory, turning it into instinct, the King Kong ape could no longer keep up. Boom! Dodging a club, Ming pivoted and brought the half-human-sized dark gold Haotian hammer crashing down on the King Kong ape's head. The sight drew gasps from nearby inner disciples. They, soul masters above level 40, struggled to defeat a 1,000-year soul beast. Then they saw that Ming was far faster despite having a single ring. "Is that Tang Yanran? He's fierce. No wonder the master promoted him to inner disciple. He's taking on a 1,000-year soul beast with the strength of a one-ring soul master. Terrifying." But with soul beasts pouring onto the battlefield, they had no time to dwell on it and continued to fight. Ming ignored the stares. He had plenty of hidden cards, and showing some of them was necessary for gaining greater benefits. He continued to pick his battles, honing his skills. At the same time, Ming was observing the battlefield. Whenever a sect disciple fell, he discreetly released the blood skull goo to drain them. The village was filled with rubble, corpses, and swirling soul rings, so nobody noticed the small skull at all. Even if someone happened to spot it, they would only assume it was a special spirit beast. These sect disciples were no match for a rank 4 goo insect, especially with the titled Douluos keeping the larger threats at bay. There were countless soul beasts on the continent. Who could be expected to recognize them all? With no 10,000-year soul beasts in the village and Tang Long, Tang Hu, and the other disciples holding the line, the situation was slowly coming under control. 3 elders killed several thousand-year-old flying soul beasts in the sky, while the rest were driven back. The battlefield began to shrink, and the spirit beasts slowly retreated towards the village. Ming took advantage of the distraction to quietly recall the blood skull goo, which had absorbed the blood of many disciples. Now the battle would hinge on the clash between the titled Douluos and the dark gold Terrorclaw bear beast king. As the saying goes, 2 fists are no match for 4 hands. However, with the addition of the remaining 3 elders, the 70,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear was starting to show signs of fatigue. Ming was certain it would be defeated. 6 clear sky hammers wielded by titled Douluos would have scared off a real 100,000-year spirit beast. This one only rivaled one in power. While the battle continued, he turned his attention to another conflict within the village. Tang Long and Tang Hu were joining forces to fight the 3,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear. The first soul ring had granted him a surge in power, and now he could absorb a second. This 3,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear was perfect. He gripped his clear sky hammer and silently approached the battlefield. Chapter 19 Another Instant Refinement. Soul Bone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. 6 titled Douluos held back the dark gold Terrorclaw bear, preventing it from controlling the entire beast horde. These soul beasts, originally forced to attack the Clear Sky School, were now free. They retreated toward the ancient Mark Mountains. The battle offered them nothing. Even if they managed to kill some human soul masters, other humans would kill them before they could get a bite. Soul beasts acted on instinct, seek advantage, avoid danger. Seeing their leader fall, they looked for an escape route. The remaining sect disciples dared not pursue. The titled Douluo battle raged in the outer sect wilderness, its aftermath deadly. Everyone focused on the last fight in the village. Tang Long and Tang Hu, the best of the 3rd generation of Clear Sky School disciples, against the 3,000-year dark gold Terrorclaw bear. It was a one-sided beatdown. The bear was already injured from its earlier fight with Tang Yu. Now it faced Tang Long and Tang Hu, the most powerful 3rd generation disciples. If not for its strong defense and dark gold claws, they would have hammered it to death. As it was, the bear was barely hanging on. Looking to its father, it saw the older bear was in worse shape, unable to offer help. Then, it smelled a familiar scent. Its dumb kid, DouluoDalu. It followed the scent and saw a human soul master in a black suit, holding a dark gold hammer, staring intently. The dark gold hammer carried the scent of its cub. Roar! The dark gold Terrorclaw bear's eyes turned blood red. Seeing the human, it lost its mind. Power surged, and it swung its claws, forcing Tang Long and Tang Hu to retreat. It charged at Ming, claws extended. Even if it died, it would avenge its son. Watch out, it's gone berserk. Tang Long and Tang Hu scrambled back, shouting a warning, but only soul lords and soul sects were present, unable to stop the bear's rampage. Roar! Little brother, I'll avenge you. The bear closed the distance to Ming, swinging its dark gold claws. Tang Long and Tang Hu paled and rushed forward, trying to intercept. If the bear killed a fellow disciple, especially one the sect master had just rewarded, they'd be in huge trouble, but they were too late. Tang Long looked at Ming with regret and despair. Suddenly, the situation changed. Seeing the bear charging, Ming showed no surprise. People scattered, but he stood his ground. I was going to sneak attack, but you came to me. Beneath his feet, a purple soul ring flashed, emitting a brilliant light. Ming swung the dark gold clear sky hammer, slamming it into the bear. First soul skill, dark gold giant hammer. Behind him, a phantom of a dark gold claw bear wielding a sledgehammer appeared. the dark gold Terrorclaw bear faltered, wasn't that its son? Boom! In that moment of confusion, Yi Ming's hammer slammed into its claws, blocking the attack. Simultaneously, the phantom hammer crashed down on its head. Boom! A sickening crack echoed as the bear froze, a trickle of blood running down its forehead. Roar, little brother, what are you doing? Its eyes filled with resentment as it wailed and collapsed, kicking up dust. Holy crap! Is Tang Yeming for real? 1,000-year soul ring as his first, that's insane, the surrounding disciples gaped, eyes wide. This defied everything they knew, they had never seen anything like it in all their years at the Clear Sky School. Though weakened by Tang Long and Tang Hu, the bear's counterattack should have been too much for a one-ring soul master. Tang Long and Tang Hu were shocked but relieved. As long as Yi Ming wasn't killed because of their mistake, they could breathe easier. Looking at the purple soul ring slowly rising from the bear, tinged with faint black, they marveled at Yi Ming's talent. Hey, kid, what are you doing? Tang Long, watching the soul ring, saw Yi Ming tapping it with his clear sky hammer, even breaking through to the second ring. You can't just absorb any soul ring. Didn't he see the black tint? Only soul kings dared absorb 10,000-year soul rings. Could a soul master handle it? The other disciples reacted with shock, mockery, and concern. Tang Long's relief evaporated. He shouted, "Careful! You can't absorb that soul ring directly. That bear was almost a 10,000-year beast. Even if you refine it, the soul beast's power will destroy you. Don't." The white-robed disciple, rescued by Tang Yu earlier, wore a strange expression. The scene seemed familiar. "It's fine," Yi Ming said indifferently, tapping the purple soul ring. The white-robed disciple's eyes widened. He remembered everything. Last time, when Tang Yeming absorbed the 1,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear soul ring, he said the same thing. He flushed, but before he could speak, Yeming acted. The 3,000-year soul ring's energy was instantly absorbed, leaving no chance for the bear's soul to retaliate. The bear's mind attempted to fight back, but the blood skull goo in Yeming's body shattered its soul. The audience was stunned. The white-robed disciple shuddered, awestruck. Seeing it again was just as shocking. Tang Long and Tang Hu exchanged glances, sighing. The Clear Sky School has produced a monster. Then, a sharp-eyed disciple pointed at the bear's left arm, exclaiming, That looks like a soul bone." Chapter 20 External Soul Bone, Dark Gold Terrorclaw Bear Left Metacarpal Bone. You are listening at novelfull.audio. What? A soul bone? Where? Where is it? The surviving disciples scrambled forward, eyes gleaming with excitement and greed. Soul bones are prized possessions for soul masters, offering a direct boost to their power. You could slay hundreds of soul beasts and still not find one. Everyone's gaze locked onto the dead dark gold fear claw bear, and sure enough, they spotted a faint light emanating from its left palm. Sensing things were about to erupt, Tang Long stepped forward, his 6 soul rings blazing into view. Meeting Tang Yeming's questioning look, he addressed the crowd, "Back off. This soul bone should go to the Sect master." Despite their rivalry, Tang Hu stood shoulder to shoulder with Tang Long on this issue. He moved silently to Tang Long's side, his eyes fixed on the crowd as he slowly revealed his own 6 soul rings. Seeing this show of force, the others suppressed their greed and retreated in silence. Tang Long and Tang Hu commanded respect. Everyone knew one of them would be the next Sect leader. Yi Ming kept quiet. He knew Tang Long and Tang Hu had weakened the dark gold fear claw bear during the fight, paving the way for his kill. Tang Long wasn't claiming the soul bone for himself, suggesting it be handed over to the Sect master. Yi Ming didn't want to seem ungrateful by objecting. Plus, he had already absorbed the soul ring from the bear, so he wasn't at a total loss. Soul bones, precious to others, weren't a huge deal to him. A soul bone from a 3,000-year-old dark gold fear claw bear offered only one extra skill, nothing compared to wrangling a few venomous bugs. Still, if it landed in his lap, he wouldn't refuse it. Seeing the crowd retreat, Tang Long pulled a dagger from his storage soul guide and carefully cut open the bear's fur. A crystal left palm bone came into view. An external soul bone, too. Tang Long exclaimed, retrieving the left palm bone, and a sigh escaped his lips. He glanced at Yi Ming with a smile. talk about luck, stumbling onto something this good. Tang Yu scoffed, Tang Long, it's not up to you to decide who gets it. Are you running the Haotian sect now? Immediately, murmurs of agreement rippled through the crowd. Yi Ming's absorption of 2,000-year soul rings in a row had already stirred envy. Now, seeing the soul bone, even if they couldn't have it, they didn't want Yi Ming to get his hands on it. Tang Long frowned at Tang Yu. You know Yi Ming absorbed the dark gold Terrorclaw bear's soul ring. The soul bone would amplify its power even more. So what? Tang Yu shrugged. Plenty of our Haotian sect disciples favor power-based builds, making them suitable for this soul bone, too. He didn't particularly want the soul bone, but he wasn't about to let Tang Long gain an advantage. This was a battle for succession. Tang Yu understood the stakes. He had supported Tang Long earlier, and now it was time to cut him down to size. Yi Ming watched the bickering pair, a slight frown giving way to a smile. Whether you're doing this on purpose or not, I appreciate the attention. He thought, if you weren't going after me, I'd feel bad about targeting you, my brothers. Tang Long stored the soul bone in his storage soul guide and said sternly, now is not the time for this discussion. The master will decide who gets the soul bone. For now, let's tend to the wounded, assess the damage, and account for everyone. We need to find all the living or recover the bodies. Tang Yu didn't argue. Tending to the wounded took precedence over besting Tang Long. The soul beasts had abandoned the village, and the elders had forced back the aerial ones. The village was safe, at least for now. The surviving disciples scattered to search the wreckage for the injured and the dead. Tang Long and Tang Yu led Yi Ming to the village entrance to observe Tang Xiao's fight. Tang Xiao had initially faced the enraged, 70,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear beast king alone and was losing ground. The tide turned when the second and third elders joined the fray. As the remaining three elders dealt with the other soul beasts and rushed to the battlefield, the dark gold Terrorclaw bear found itself outmatched. 6 titled Douluo wielding the world's most powerful offensive weapon. Spirits were too much. Even if the dark gold Terrorclaw bear was a 100,000-year soul beast, it wouldn't stand a chance. Roar! The dark gold Terrorclaw bear moaned, sensing the death of its eldest son. Its left arm trembled. Its dark gold armor was dented, and its fur was matted with blood. Humph. I offered you a way out, but you refused. Today, I'll avenge the fallen members of the Haotian sect with your blood. Tang Xiao roared, turning to the elders. Let's finish this beast together. The Haotian sect had retreated to the mountains to avoid conflict, but they never expected soul beasts to dare bully them. Many of the fallen disciples were their own kin. Big Sumeru hammer. Tang Xiao shouted, his Haotian hammer growing larger, aimed directly at the dark gold Terrorclaw bear. At the same time, the clear sky hammers of the 5 elders beside him swelled in size. 6 mountain-like clear sky hammers, blotting out the sun, descended upon the dark gold Terrorclaw bear. Boom boom boom. The earth shook, making Yi Ming wince. Those titled Douluo from the Haotian sect are ruthless. Taking down this beast king is a piece of cake. 6 sledgehammers pounding away like that. Who could withstand it without becoming a god? After 6 earth-shattering blows, the dark gold Terrorclaw bear's armor shattered, and its internal organs were crushed. The sun rose in the east, chasing away the darkness. The light fell on the dark gold Terrorclaw bear, but it felt no warmth. It turned toward the village, its gaze seeming to pierce through the wreckage, falling on Yi Ming. The aura of my 2 sons. Roar. The dark gold Terrorclaw bear roared at the sky, its voice shaking the mountains. Then, it toppled backward, throwing up a cloud of dust as it crashed to the ground. A rich black soul ring tinged with red floated from its body, shimmering in the sunlight. Tang Xiao and the others sighed with relief as the dark gold Terrorclaw bear beast king fell. They could each use the soul ring, but none of them had a free slot to absorb it. The 5th elder, known for his fiery temper, landed and swung his clear sky hammer at the dark gold Terrorclaw bear, cursing. You damn beast. You caused so many of our Haotian sect disciples to die. I'll get even if you're dead. Boom. He continued to hammer away, venting his rage. Tang Xiao and the others didn't stop him. The disciples they had lost were their own, and their hearts were filled with grief and anger. Clang! The fifth elder's clear sky hammer struck the Beast King's left arm, producing a metallic clang. Everyone's eyes widened. Only a soul bone could withstand the onslaught of a tidal Douluo. And this soul bone came from a 70,000-year-old dark gold Terrorclaw bear.